What if I told you that you could go from $0 to $100 in just 24 hours, with absolutely no skills, no experience, and no money to start? It sounds unrealistic, almost like one of those exaggerated claims you see all over the internet. And honestly, that's exactly what I thought too. Every day, you see people online saying that making money is easy, that you can just use a few tools, follow a simple method, and start earning instantly. But the more I looked into it, the more I started to question whether any of it was actually true. So instead of just watching videos and reading posts, I decided to test it myself. I gave myself a challenge, 24 hours, starting from zero, with no shortcuts, no tricks, and no paid tools. Just me, a laptop, an internet connection, and a single goal, to make $100 online in one day. Before starting, I set a few strict rules to keep this experiment realistic and honest. First, I had exactly 24 hours, not more, not less. Second, I had no existing audience, no followers, no subscribers, and no personal brand to rely on. Third, I wasn't allowed to spend any money at all. That meant no paid ads, no premium tools, and no outsourcing. Everything had to be done using free platforms and my own effort. And finally, I decided to test multiple beginner-friendly methods instead of relying on just one. These included freelancing, microtasks, AI-powered services, affiliate marketing, and content creation. The idea was simple. Try everything that a beginner might try and see which method actually works the fastest in a real-world scenario. The first few hours were all about setting things up. I created accounts on freelancing platforms, filled out my profiles, and wrote simple descriptions of what I could offer. Since I didn't want to pretend to have skills I didn't actually have, I kept everything honest and basic. I focused on simple services like writing short content, editing text, or doing small online tasks. At the same time, I started exploring free AI tools to see how they could help me. I used them to generate content ideas, create sample work, and improve the way I presented my services. Even though the setup didn't take too long, it still felt overwhelming. There were so many options, so many platforms, and so many different ways to try making money that it was hard to stay focused. And despite all that effort, I hadn't made a single dollar yet. As I moved into the next phase, I started applying for gigs and sending proposals. I wrote messages to potential clients, offered low prices to increase my chances, and tried to stand out as much as possible. At the same time, I tested microtask websites, completing small jobs like surveys and basic online tasks. These were supposed to be the easiest ways to earn money quickly, but the reality was very different. The payouts were extremely low, and even after spending a significant amount of time, I had barely made anything. It was frustrating. Hours were passing, and the results didn't match the effort I was putting in. That's when I realized something important. Most of the easy money methods online are not actually easy. They require time, patience, and consistency, and they rarely deliver instant results. At that point, I knew I needed to change my approach. Continuing in the same way would not get me to $100 within 24 hours. So I paused and asked myself a simple question. What can I do to move faster? That's when I decided to focus more on using AI strategically. Instead of writing everything manually, I started using AI tools to generate better proposals, create faster responses, and improve the quality of my work. This didn't mean that AI did everything for me, but it helped me speed up the process significantly. Suddenly, I was able to send more applications in less time, create better samples, and respond to messages almost instantly. It wasn't that things became easy, but they definitely became faster. And in a challenge like this, speed can make a huge difference. As the hours passed, I began to see small signs of progress. My proposals started getting more attention. My messages felt more professional. And then, finally, I received my first reply. It wasn't a confirmed order yet, but it was a real person showing interest in my service. That moment felt like a breakthrough. It proved that this was actually possible. I immediately responded, used AI to create a quick sample, and sent it within minutes. Then came the waiting. That waiting period felt longer than it actually was because so much was depending on that response. If it turned into an order, it would change everything. A few hours later, I got my first order. It wasn't a large amount of money, but it was real. And that moment felt incredibly rewarding. Not because of the amount, but because of what it represented. It showed that making money online from zero is possible. It's not instant, it's not magical, but it works if you stay consistent and keep trying. That first one also gave me confidence. I realized that if I could do it once, I could probably do it again. With that confidence, I pushed forward. I completed the task as quickly and as well as I could, delivered it on time, and waited for feedback. Thankfully, the response was positive. And that positive response led to something even better, more opportunities. I started receiving more messages, more inquiries, and more chances to earn. This is where momentum started to build. It wasn't just about getting one order anymore. It was about creating a flow of opportunities. At the same time, I continued testing other methods like affiliate marketing and content creation. I tried sharing links, posting content, and experimenting with different approaches. But none of these methods produced results as quickly as freelancing combined with AI. Affiliate marketing required traffic, which I didn't have. Content creation required time to grow, which I didn't have in a 24-hour challenge. So I focused more on what was actually working, freelancing with the help of AI. As I entered the final phase of the challenge, the pressure started to increase. Time was running out, and I still hadn't reached $100. I checked my total earnings, and while I had made progress, I wasn't there yet. I was close, but not close enough. So I decided to push even harder. I sent more proposals, improved my offers, and tried to maximize every remaining hour. I stayed focused, avoided distractions, and used every tool available to increase my chances. In those final hours, something interesting happened. The work I had done earlier started to pay off. I received another order. It wasn't huge, but it brought me closer to my goal. And at that moment, I realized something important. Most of the results were not coming instantly. They were coming as a result of consistent effort over time, even within that short 24-hour window. After 24 hours, I finally stopped and looked at the results. I hadn't reached exactly $100, but I had come close enough to prove the main point of the experiment. Making money online from zero is possible, even within a short time frame. However, it's not as easy as many people make it seem. It requires effort, persistence, and the ability to adapt when things are not working. Now let's be honest for a moment. If making $100 in a day was truly easy, everyone would be doing it. The reality is that most people either expect instant results or give up too early. They try something for a few hours, don't see results, and assume it doesn't work. But the truth is, almost every method requires some level of consistency and learning. Even with AI tools, success doesn't happen overnight. AI can help you move faster, but it cannot replace effort and understanding. Looking back at the entire experiment, a few things clearly stood out. Taking action quickly was one of the most important factors. Instead of overthinking, I started immediately and adjusted as I went. Using AI helped me save time and improve my output, which made a big difference in a time-limited challenge. Focusing on one main method instead of trying everything equally also helped me stay efficient. And most importantly, not giving up when things were slow allowed me to build momentum. So what's the takeaway from all of this? It's simple. Don't fall for the idea of easy money. Instead, focus on building something real. Learn a skill, even if it's basic. Use tools like AI to improve your efficiency. And most importantly, stay consistent, because that's what actually leads to results. If you approach online income with the right mindset, you can absolutely build something meaningful. It won't happen instantly, and it won't always be easy, but it is possible. And that's what this experiment proved. And if you want to see more real challenges like this, where we test ideas instead of just talking about them, make sure to subscribe, because this is just the beginning.